Porygon 2 and then maybe switching to Tapu Fini first turn for like a Mudsdale. But then again, Mudsdale's probably going to be taking some damage.
Both players seeming to have some connection issues. Looks like they're about ready to get started though, so we'll be switching over to the team preview screen once again. Just to go over the teams one more time for you guys. Dylan Savanera is going to be on the left side of the screen with Xurkitree, Porygon 2, Arcanine, Kartana, Fini, and Mudsdale. Going up against Alex Underhill on the right with Mimikyu, Hariyama, Torkoal, Drampa, Mudsdale, and Lucario. So, yeah, hard Trick Room versus that Fake Core.
Yeah, and the more I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm wondering if Alex has been able to think at all with the connection issues, that the Hariyama might be a good play just to prevent the Porygon 2 from doing anything. I don't know how much damage output that Fini can have. We know it's the Calm Mind version because we saw it get taunted. So I don't think it can one-shot the Hariyama.
It's going to come down to leads here. Like, does Alex go with his tried and true Lucario partner with Mimikyu, or does he maybe like switch it up with Hariyama?
Yeah, and poor Lucario needs its time to shine.
Yep. We do see Arcanine and Tapu Fini coming out for Dylan, so going to be setting up that Misty Terrain right away as we do see the tried and true Lucario and Mimikyu that we've seen all day.
Yeah, and that's good for Alex because he can, Tapu Fini can have Taunt, or at least he Taunt. Arcanine can have Roar, but Final Gambit can take care of that. Even Follow Me can take care of some of these things. So why fix it if it isn't broke,
Yeah.
The Porygon 2 has got to be in there somewhere for Dylan, otherwise he might.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to lead it against possible Hariyama or Lucario. It seems kind of scary. I don't know.
And maybe Dylan doesn't know what this team is exactly doing because we've been streaming and we don't have a TV here at the venue.
Right. We do see a switch out immediately into Drampa, so opting not to Final Gambit as in previous games. Protect coming out from Tapu Fini, maybe expecting Final Gambit on that slot. Flare Blitz right into that Mimikyu, going to be breaking the disguise and going to allow Alex to set up his Trick Room for free. Yeah,
so this was a brilliant turn from Alex, and I think what he was thinking was, hey, I could try to Final Gambit into something, but if it protects it off, I have a Lucario in here in Trick Room. So I'm going to maximize my turns, assume that Dylan's going to play smart and try to double protect off my Final Gambit, and just switch into Drampa and save Lucario for later,
Yeah.
So it was a really good play by Alex, just to note, because he also knows Dylan as well.
Right, and these two have played each other in many tournaments in the past. Hyper Voice doing a lot of damage to both of Dylan's Pokemon, as we do see these Swords Dance from Mimikyu's going to be boosting up. If Dylan decides to target down this Drampa, he's still going to have to deal with that +2 Mimikyu. We do see it getting the special attack drop, but will be offset by the Berserk boost here. Flare Blitz going right into the Mimikyu slot. Oh no, the Drampa slot going to be finishing it off. So Dylan wanted to take care of that Trick Room sweeper right away.
Yeah, and I would have liked to have seen the Flare Blitz into the Mimikyu just so the Arcanine can threaten the Drampa with extreme speed. But now he gets a free switch into Torkoal.
Oh yeah, Torkoal coming in, going to be threatening that eruption damage. Even under the sun, like it does so much damage against these two not very effective targets.
Yeah, and that's why I think that play would have been better for Dylan, because now he's got to burn a turn on Trick Room here.
Yeah, and we do see Dylan opting to do that right now, going for a double protect, just trying to burn off some turns here. Solar Beam going to be hit and protect. So if you're Dylan here, now what do? You've double protected.
Something's getting sacrificed, I think, here.
Yeah.
You got to decide what's getting sacrificed because I'm not sure he's got much that can switch into 2 eruptions. You could switch into Porygon 2, but Porygon 2 generally doesn't carry protect, so the next Trick Room turn, he's going to probably go down to another eruption.
Kartana, no. Mudsdale.
Unless it's Assault Vest Mudsdale, because Assault Vest Mudsdale was pretty common beginning of the year. Maybe it's EV to live 2, but
it's
still doesn't
not
like
great.
it. It still doesn't like it, and the Xurkitree, obviously, we know is the Z move, is not going to like Eruption.
So yeah, Dylan's gonna have to make a choice here, deciding which Pokemon to sacrifice. It looks like he's not protecting or switching out here. Solar Beam gonna be hitting that Tapu Fini. Gonna be enough to knock it out as well. So
And Alex making a very safe play.
Yeah.
Because he's going to Shadow Claw. Yeah.
he's gonna Shadow Claw the Arcanine and finish it off. So double knockout for Alex Underhill here. Gonna be revealing Dylan's last 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, that was a good safe play by Alex, because the Solar Beam for sure is getting the KO on the Tapu Fini, and the Shadow Claw, I believe, +1 is going to get the Arcanine from there. So
Yep, the Kartana and the Mudsdale trying to finish off Alex's team here. Still in a tricky position. Do you think he can stall out Trick Room enough to get momentum?
yeah, I think this is the last turn of Trick Room. So you just protect off the Kartana.
Maybe Earthquake?
Maybe Earthquake. Maybe I don't know if it's a Assault Vest, you can Heavy Slam the Mimikyu. Or if it's not a Assault Vest, you can double protect. There's lots of options here, actually, for Dylan to get out of here.
We'll see what the opposite do. Looks like Mudsdale going for Protect. Most likely going to be seeing that Kartana protecting as well. So
I'm triggered. That's not Detect.
Yeah. So yeah, Dylan just stalling out another turn of Trick Room. But yeah, he's still down in Pokemon. Outside of Trick Room, now what does he do?
All right, so now you gotta go into that Mimikyu. You can't let Trick Room get up. It means Earthquaking your own Kartana, you Earthquake your own Kartana. We don't know Alex's last. Oh, it's the Lucario. If there's a way to get the Lucario in safely, so it can maybe follow me away some pressure, then he can get the Trick Room up again. But I'm liking Dylan's spot.
Yeah. Oh, we do see Smart Strike into the Mimikyu, bringing it down to its sash. We'll see if the Mudsdale can go ahead and finish this off. No, we do see the Ground EMZ move from that Mudsdale, so possibly targeting the Torkoal?
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. That shows Dylan doesn't have much information about the team, knowing that it's not Focus Sash.
Right.
Mimikyu.
Maybe he was hoping that it was a different item.
Yeah, assuming the Mental Herb, I'm sure.
Yeah, so Mimikyu holding on. Torkoal going down to the Ground EMZ, and Trick Room comes back up. How useful is it in this situation, though?
It's not, because that Lucario is going to be outsped in Trick Room by the horse.
Right.
And horse is here to take names. And we know it's got Earthquake, so Follow Me cannot save Mimikyu.
Will it survive a +2 play rough?
Mudsdale? Oh, probably. Yeah, it's got big defense. Yeah, that was a good forfeit. Don't give any information away. Although I think Dylan learning the Focus Sash is going to change up his thought process. At this point, if anything does have Taunt, that could be useful.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any Taunt, but at the same time, now he knows if he gets out of Trick Room and it's got a full HP, he needs to double into it to prevent the Trick Room from getting up. And that was maybe a little bit of an oversight by Alex by not protecting the Torkoal. He probably should have played to the out of Dylan not knowing the Focus Sash existed on the Mimikyu, switching out the Torkoal to take to have the Lucario take the Ground Z move.
Yeah.
And then he would have a full HP Torkoal in Trick Room with full Trick Room
Right,
turns.
yeah.
So maybe a little bit of an oversight, and maybe a bit of comfortable playing by Alex. And maybe he was assuming Dylan would make a hard read of the Protect and double into the Mimikyu slap.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I would expect him to kind of make that play, kind of based off of that. But anyway, going into game 2, wow, Alex just seemed to get kind of wrecked there at the very end, because he ran out of Trick Room turns, and that's where his team really shines, you know?
Yeah, and Dylan's already locked in. I think Alex is taking a minute to think through the game. This is a good experience move. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the exact same leads with the exact same Pokemon back, if he has determined that he can maximize his Trick Room terms differently.
Yeah.
And I know he did a pretty good job of maximizing them last time by getting the free switch into Drampa on the first turn without using Final Gambit.
Right. It's just the double protects from Dylan just really helped him get through that Trick Room without a whole... I mean, like, obviously he lost his first 2 Pokemon, but he was still able to have a position at the very end of the game.
Yeah, and he was able to have bulky enough things to handle the situation where some of Alex's opponents haven't had bulky enough things. As we saw last round, the Arcanine wasn't bulky, and the stuff couldn't handle the big pressure from the Trick Room sweepers.
We do see Dylan leading with Arcanine Mudsdale and the classic lead from Alex here, so maybe trying to adjust a little bit this game.
Yeah, and the big question here is, will we have a Game 3 on stream?
Will we have a Game 3? That is the question of the day.
So this is a good play by Dylan, because now he can protect off the first turn of Trick Room here. And Mudsdale's already in for free at full HP, so he can threaten either of the Trick Room sweepers that want to come in here.
Dylan opting to protect, so
play.
Preventing the Final Gambit from going into it, but he opts to target the Mudsdale, scouting that protect. Not going to be picking up a knockout, but definitely doing a whole lot of damage to that Mudsdale, usually bulky Pokemon.
Maybe not the best play there by Dylan. If he could have double protected off this turn and let Mimikyu just set up Trick Room for his 2 Pokemon. Lucario is naturally faster than both of these things, and I would anticipate it being max speed just to get those Final Gambits off. So if he was able to have a full health Mudsdale with a full health Arcanine, and Mimikyu's disguise is broken, and there's a Lucario on the field without a free switch in the Trick Room sweeper, he'd be in a really good position.
Yeah.
So maybe Dylan to think about a double protect if it comes to Game 3.
I feel like Alex has played that lead so much, he knows exactly which one's going to protect.
Yeah, and he's just in the heads of his opponents because he's run this team so often through so many international challenges online, and and even proving it at this midseason today through a tough field, very tough field.
Yeah. Torkoal coming in for Alex, gonna see how much damage it can do with that eruption under Trick Room here. Alex switching in both of his Trick Room sweepers here. So we do see Mudsdale protecting, trying to stay alive for another turn here. Eruption from the Torkoal going into that Arcanine. Not doing a whole lot, probably. Oh my gosh, it still does so much. That sun boosted eruption really hits hard. Flare Blitz going into that Torkoal, going to be putting it a little bit under half. So Drampa coming in here.
So that first play of not double protecting meant that Mudsdale had to protect this turn off. Otherwise, it was going down to the Eruption, which allowed Alex to easily bring in the Drampa for the Mimikyu instead of setting up the Swords Dance. So now he's got double Trick Room sweepers out.
So yeah, like Alex is free to fire off those Hyper Voice Eruption combos that are so devastating for Dylan here. We do see that Eruption connecting with Mudsdale, gonna pick up the knockout there, and forces Dylan to switch out.
Yep, so that's a free switch in for Dylan. Maybe worth trying to double protect, because it's a desperate situation. We know the Mudsdale's going down. It's worth trying to double protect.
Yeah.
No reason not to. It could stall. At worst, it stalls out an extra turn of Trick Room.
Right, yeah.
And here you could see maybe the Arcanine going for like an extreme speed to weaken some eruptions, but you could also just see it going for a Solar Beam in the Tapu Fini because that Hyper Voice is going to do damage.
Yeah.
It's going to take out the Arcanine at this rate.
So do you just go for Moonblast, or you go for Muddy Water?
The way Dylan's playing, I'm guessing he's going to protect, but I would just I'd probably Muddy Water this turn and then Moonblast if I can, because I don't want to put the Drampa on Berserk range. And Muddy Water will.
Right, yeah. That's very important to keep that out of Berserk range as much as you can.
So yeah, maybe an extreme speed into Torkoal and a Muddy Water would be a good play here.
Yeah, possibly getting some sort of accuracy drop. We'll see what happens here, though.
No, it's always delicious accuracy drops.
Extreme speed actually going into the Drampa slot. Okay.
So we're probably going to see a Moonblast there.
Solar Beam from the Torkoal going right into that Tapu Fini. Not reading a protect on that slot. As we see the Drampa going for Hyper Voice. It's going to be picking up a knockout on both of Dylan's Pokemon, so Dylan left with 1 in reserve. Not looking so good right now for him.
Yeah, and I just don't think he was in a position that he could do anything, and he had to make a play there and not protecting his Tapu Fini. Because Alex utilized the Trick Room turns too well.
Yeah.
And that first turn, I think, decided it, where Dylan could have just double protected off.
Yeah.
But I think Dylan was also thinking about game 1, where Alex just switched first turn. So
yeah, he was baited into that.
Yeah, I think he was baited, and Alex showing a really good veteran best of 3 play of just, it's a mind game. and getting Dylan to think a certain way.
Right, yeah.
And guess what?
Game 3!
Oh my goodness.
It's game 3, guys. Finally. Finals.
Finals.
Here we are.
Final game. If we're going to get it anywhere, I guess the finals is the one we wanted in.
Yeah, finally we get to see how these players can adapt. Like, because game 3 is so much different than 1 and 2, because you have 2 different games to kind of adapt and figure out, how the other opponent's team works, how your team works against them.
Yeah, and now they got the cards are on the table, man.
So I mean, it's all about leads with this one.
It's going to be leads, and I think we're not going to see much difference in the Pokemon brought. I'm still a little shocked we don't see the Porygon 2, but Dylan deciding that Protect is more important, which is probably a good call. So he's bringing 4 Pokemon that can Protect in the Kartana, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, and Mudsdale, as having Protect Pokemon in these hard Trick Room matchups gets you out of Trick Room like he did in the first game.
Right.
So the Porygon 2 could come for some, if it does come, it comes in the lead as some mind games, just to mess up with, does the Mimikyu click Trick Room first turn? Because that's all we know it does.
Yeah. We'll see what happens here. Could possibly send in a Porygon, could lead the same. We'll find out just in a second here.
I wouldn't be surprised if they led the same, because they each won a game and they're probably both feeling just fine about the 4 that they brought, and they're just thinking about playing better.
Yeah, we do see the Arcanine and Tapu Fini for Dylan, and the Mimikyu Lucario for Alex. So very similar leads here. Yeah, it's just about how Dylan reacts to Alex's plays here.
So here's the mind game. Does he double protect? Alex has to think, does he double protect? Because if he does, I need to switch. But if he doesn't, I can get a free switch by final game, I think, here. If Dylan's going to play safe today in game 3, I would anticipate the double protect. But then again, Alex just might have just baited him into that and thinking of that because of how he played in the first 2 games.
Dude, what if he just goes in? Oh, okay, no switches. Okay.
If we see protect out of Fini, this is a good turn for Dylan.
Okay, yeah. There's the protect. Alex giving him thumbs up.
He did it.
For that good play. So final gambit going right in.
Oh! Alex
not
is giving himself the thumbs up.
Oh, dang.
Oh my goodness. The long game there.
The long game. He Trick Rooms turn 1 all day until the very last game.
That was a brilliant play by Alex.
Oh my gosh, yo.
Alex is just a really good best of 3 player, and this is a best of 1 team with more gimmicks than a best of 3 or more gimmicks than you should have.
Wow. So yeah, Dylan trying to react to not being under Trick Room on turn 2. Final gambit going into the Kartana switch in, bringing it down to its focus sash, but yeah, still doing a massive amount of damage. Arcanine still left on the field, still able to throw out a Flare Blitz and break that disguise, but man, now he can set up Trick Room and he's +2.
Yep, and that's the next level play from Alex. I mean, this game was won on turn 1 because now he's got a +2 Mimikyu already and full Trick Room turns. He doesn't need to spend this turn Swords Dancing. Though if Dylan is feeling a little passive and Alex is like, oh, you're just going to double protect? Well, here's some more Swords Dancing. I don't anticipate that happening because I think a Shadow Claw into the Arcanine and Hyper Voice just clears everything. And there's no need to be greedy. And that Arcanine can't really switch out or afford to switch out, so Mimikyu is going to be at least at +1 the rest of the way, I think.
Wow, just absolutely devastating turn 1.
Yeah, great turn 1.
Yeah,
and that's next level play.
Yeah, Arcanine going for protect, trying to scout out the Shadow Claw there. Hyper Voice going to be knocking out that Kartana. Not much else Dylan can really do other than stall out Trick Room.
I think he might have Mudsdale in the back then. And he did read the
Oh.
source. He's styling on him.
He's styling on him. +4 Mimikyu for
+3.
Alex.
+3.
Oh, +3
He
for
got intimidated. Yeah. So he's styling on a little bit. I think Dylan, if he didn't have Mudsdale in the back, he would have protected the Kartana. So here comes the Mudsdale, hoping to take some names and take some KOs. But the problem is that Mimikyu has a focus sash. So if Dylan remembers that, this Mimikyu is gonna give him problems because of that early sword stance.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he opts to protect here. Dylan definitely needs to get out of Trick Room here. Both Drampa and Mimikyu are very slow Pokemon, so we'll see kind of where Mudsdale fits in that whole spectrum, I guess.
Yeah, and we know it's a Z move, and we know it has Earthquake. So Dylan's just trying to figure out what he can do to maybe possibly at all win. And now Alex is cheering.
Alex is cheering for the Hyper Voice. Going on to both Dylan's Pokemon here. Stamina raising Mudsdale's defense. So Earthquake going out. Going to be targeting his own Arcanine as well as Alex's team. Going to be KOing his own Arcanine, and Mimikyu left to take care of that poor Mudsdale.
Yep, that's a +1 defense Mudsdale versus a +2.
Oh, it's alive.
Mimikyu. Yep, it's alive,
Okay.
but it's undersped by Drampa, as we just saw. And then
Right.
if Trick Room ends, Mimikyu will outspeed it. So
Is this the last turn of Trick Room?
nope, we
Nope.
got a long ways to go, man.
Oh boy.
Because of that first turn being a Swords Dance turn, we still have
Yeah, that's
we
right.
still have a couple turns of Trick Room.
So used to Trick Room being expired by this point.
Yeah, maybe the Z move into the Drampa would have been good there, and leaving your own Arcanine alive there.
Yeah.
Because the Shadow Claw was probably into the Arcanine.
Right.
So maybe a bit of a misplay or a misclick by Dylan, because he still had the Tapu Fini in the back.
Yeah, especially if he had another single target move available to him.
Yeah, yeah, he could have, high horsepowered, I assume.
Yeah.
Heavy slam, close combat. Mudsdale's got the tools.
Drampa going for Hyper Voice. No protects from Dylan's side. Tapu Fini is going to be by itself going up against Alex's team here. Shadow Claw +3. That's going to be it for Dylan there.
And
Alex is your Illinois Midseason Showdown champion, taking Grand Finals 2-1.
Yeah, that's a good run from Alex. He just beat our undefeated. Just shout outs to Dylan, first of all. Give him credit.
Yeah.
He went undefeated through this treacherous terrain.